Road paracycling made its Parapan debut at Guadalajara 2011. Originally, it only included visually impaired competitors, but now athletes with physical disabilities and cerebral palsy are included. Para-athletes are distinguished by categories which correspond to a letter and number related to the type of bicycle they use and the classification of the cyclist. Here we are focusing on the men's C1-5 individual time trial, C for conventional cycle. 2 laps of a 10.8 kilometre track in the Isla de Maipo suburb of Santiago, so that makes for a 21.6 kilometre race. Brazil's Lauro Moro had the #1 bib and he made the running right from the off, completing the first lap in 13 minutes 41.42 seconds. But would his time be enough to finish ahead of the best C3 or C4 riders? Competitors from the 5 classifications compete together. Their times are then reduced by factors based on their level of impairment. 26-year-old Alexandra Haywood here from New Brunswick has a story similar to that of many top-level para-athletes. He broke his neck playing top-level junior ice hockey as a 14-year-old and soon after became a member of Canada's wheelchair basketball setup. He spent a decade in that sport and then switched to paracycling less than 2 years ago. Haywood crossed the line just over 30 seconds slower than Morrow, but as a C3 cyclist that brought his time down by almost 2 minutes. There were the final results with the factoring: gold and bronze for Canada and silver for Brazil.
Please stay with us. Coming up next, the medal ceremony for women's C1-5.
Over in the women's event now, again the C1-5 individual time trial. 16 riders taking part and just the 1 lap of the track for them, so 10.8 kilometres. Riders range from C2 to C5, and this race was a much tighter one, as you would expect with a shorter distance and the differences in classifications. C2 riders only having 90% of their time as their final result to reflect their level of impairment. It turned out to be a battle between the US riders and the Colombians. C3 Jamie Whitmore of USA recorded a lap of 16 minutes 38.32 seconds, and that was reduced to 15:29.13 via factoring. The winner, though, was Samantha Bosco. The 36-year-old from Anchorage won 2 bronze medals at the Rio Paralympics 7 years ago and a pair of golds this year at the Road World Championships in Glasgow, plus a couple of bronzes on the track. She also finished 3rd in the time trial event in Lima 4 years ago before an injury ruled her out of the Tokyo Paralympics. She was the quickest cyclist on the course of all the classifications and won by over 20 seconds from Whitmore, followed by Munivar of Colombia. Gold and silver for the USA, therefore, and a bronze for Colombia.
Thank you, everyone, for being a